Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Nice to be with you again. Today's video about writing, especially sample narrative paragraph. So before we begin, as usual, don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share it with your friends. So let me first try to read the topic. Write a coherent, well-unified narrative paragraph about an important lesson that you have acquired through a memorable experience you have gone through. Pay attention to grammar, mechanics, spelling mistakes, and punctuation rules. So, the first thing that I would like to speak about is that a student should take into account a number of rules and instructions that he should or she should abide by, which means random or to write randomly is not recommended, is not accepted, and therefore the student is going to have a bad mark. Okay, so it's not a question of writing, it's a question how you write, not what you write. Always put in your mind how you write. This is the most important thing to have in your mind. So then you should pay attention to three elements all the time: grammar, mechanics, respect grammar rules. Then try to avoid spelling mistakes. This is, you know, that proofreading is a good strategy that a student should do, especially when he ends up writing his paragraph or her paragraph. Then punctuation rules. Punctuation, I have said, it's an art. Always bear it in mind. And teachers, they like students who apply such three criteria, and be sure, take it for granted, you can have a good mark. Let's start. I still vividly remember the day, exactly March the 7th, when I cheerfully decided to visit some historical monuments in the Old Medina in Fez. So the first sentence is very important. Why? Because it shows two important criteria related to time and place. This is what we call a literature setting. So we are speaking about March the 7th, and we are speaking about the Old Medina in Fez. So this is what we call setting. Setting means time and place. On my way back home at 4:30 in the afternoon. So if March the 7th is general, because it can include morning, afternoon, and evening. So here we specify, especially at 4:30 in the afternoon. I caught sight of a large shop marvelously furnished in a variety of fittings and styles with valuable high-priced antiques, notably glass household items. So here, my sequence of events. Here it begins. Okay, and here I try to rely on some visual techniques as if everything that you saw is in front of you. Number one, and something very important here, the point of view. So the point of view here, we focus on I. So I has to do with the point of view in this narrative paragraph. Number two, the use of tense. So here we have started with simple past tense because we speak, or I am speaking about an experience related to the past. Indeed, their sparkling light and eye-catching beauty appealed to me. So here we focus a lot on adjectives. So adjectives, they are a good strategy to describe, and when you want to narrate, try to focus on adjectives and adverbs. Both of them, they are acceptable and workable. On the spot, I swiftly took a small fancy ornament admiringly. So the plot has begun. In a few seconds, which means after it, in a few seconds, that fancy ornament dropped out of my hand unexpectedly, which means it is not intentional, but it is unexpected, and broke. The result broke into pieces. Why? Because it is made of glass. For a brief moment. So here I'm going to focus on a stative verb, especially related to feelings. I felt that I could not even breathe, and the sound of my heart seemed to be pounding in my ears. So please try to use effective language, and do not forget, if it is permitted, to use literary devices like metaphor, simile, okay, oxymoron, and so many others. So this one is very beautiful here. The moment it describes your feelings, because you could not even breathe, and at the same time the sound of your heart is pounding, or was pounding, in your ears. Pityingly, beads of sweat. So you describe yourself the moment this fancy ornament dropped out of your hand. Beads of sweat broke out of my brow. What is the result? So I began to undergo a physical condition marked by trembling due to anxiety and frailty out of panic. So here, this is a description of your feelings, in which there is an amalgam of what we call fear, anxiety, and weakness, frailty, weakness. Something very important that we should also focus on is action. How the story moves smoothly, okay, till we reach the climax, and then this is what we call in literature rising action. Then we go downward. This is what we call decreasing action, and we call it denouement. And denouement has to do with the solution. What is the ultimate, what is the final solution after the conflict has been maximized? I was actually in a delicate situation. Moreover, regret tore my heart. This is a very beautiful description, okay, to show that how did regret tear my heart. So I was actually in a delicate situation. Moreover, regret tore my heart. What's the result? I could not believe myself when I succumbed to tears. I began to cry. Why? Because I became weak. I became fragile. I became vulnerable. So literary devices play a very crucial part in writing. Meanwhile, at the same time, here is the second character, the shop owner. The shop owner, a very small description of this person, a middle-aged man with a lean, muscular body. So he's thin, he's what we say, he has a good shape, but his body is muscular, he's strong, and a trimmed beard. He has a beard which is trimmed. Did not take any notice of the occurrence of what has occurred, fortunately. Another description within this narrative paragraph, because I broke, or the ornaments dropped out of my hand. What should be the result? You should pay it for it. So I was penniless, I was moneyless at that moment. Likewise, I was not courageous. I didn't have money, and I was not courageous enough to inform him, to tell him what happened or what had happened. So another thing very important here is character. So till now we have two characters. I, that is linked to the point of view of the paragraph, and the second element, person, is the shop owner. So which means here the plot, the sequence of events moves smoothly in a very beautiful way without any problem. Honestly, when I dared to talk to him because I was afraid, then I challenged myself. When I dared to talk to him, admitting such a mistake, he did not fly into fury. He was not angry. Thus, what's the result? I handed him my identity card as a pledge. I didn't have money. What should I do? I should give him my identity card as a pledge. When I bring money, at that moment he is going to give me back my identity card. However, so now the climax has finished. Now we are going to experience or to leave the denouement. However, he politely looked at the use of adverbs with verbs. He politely refused and forgive me smilingly. So he forgave me and he was smiling, which means that this person is generous. This person is not a miser, even if it's his right. Lastly, now before I read this, from lastly till the end, behind any piece of writing, there should be a purpose. If there is no purpose, means your paragraph, you just inform. And we don't care about just informing. We want you to add something that we call the additional value. Al-qima al-mudhafa. What is the additional value concerning this paragraph? This is what we are going to see together. Lastly, though, don't forget to use, please, linking words, transitional devices, conjunctions, okay, with all 4 types: coordinating conjunctions, conjunctive adverbs, subordinating conjunctions, and correlative conjunctions. All of them, try to use them. I have said before, they are breaks. Why? Because they don't allow you to lengthen your sentences, and then they become effective, they become convincing, and they become striking. Lastly, though I was very angry with myself for making such a stupid mistake, I realized, this is, now we start to feel what is the outcome of this story. I realized that honesty and forgiveness are of great value in our daily dealings. Why? Honesty. Why? Because I was not a liar. I told the truth. I was truthful. I was sincere. I was not a liar. And why forgiveness? This is related to the shop owner, because it's his right to ask for money, but he did not want. He forgave me. So here I have the outcome of this story, this narrative paragraph, 2 elements which are very important. Honesty and forgiveness are of great value in our daily dealings. Why? Because they serve to enhance character building, your personality, not to be a liar, and spirit purity. This man, the shop owner, really is a good model to show that people should be, what do we say, tolerant. They should not be all the time, what do we say, aggressive towards other people, especially when they make a mistake. Okay, so there is brotherhood, there is sisterhood, and these are the notions that we should try to establish in our daily dealings, because we are brothers, we are sisters. So, techniques related to a narrative paragraph concerning point of view, concerning the chronological order. Number 1, point of view, action, character, setting, plot, effective language use, literary devices, creation of visuals in your paragraph, the past tense in order, and then the sequence of tenses. And finally, the purpose, I mean the outcome of this experience. What is the additional value in relation to informing the reader? What is the additional value that you have given? This video is over now. Thank you so much for your watching. Do not forget, please, to subscribe, to like, and to comment. Thank you so much for watching.